So that's how we got into it. And it's not just about drones. In today's market, and we've all been through this downturn since 2014, we're all under a lot of pressure to drive down cost. And you can only drive down cost if you do it safe and you do it efficiently. So with modern technology, you can be safer, you can be more efficient, and you can save money. And that's what we're going to talk about today is the technology's there to do it. And you can do it cheaper, more efficiently, and safer. It's not just about me, it's not just about M3. There's a lot of people out there that are already in this business, but not all of them are in the marine business. Drone pilots, for example, are plenty, and they're all youngsters, and they've all been doing it for quite a long time. One of the things I didn't mention early on, we're a marine surveying company, and we're authorised by the Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore. You guys can all go down to the toy shop in the shopping mall next door and buy a drone. And you can go fly it to your heart's content. You can go out to the anchorage and fly around ships, and you can do whatever you like. The moment you decide to commercialize it, the moment you decide to charge 1 cent to do a job, you need Civil Aviation Authority approval. And your drone pilots need to be certified. And you need to have a permit to do any job. Now, that might sound simple. How do I get a permit? I can tell you, I've got friends who are private pilots. You can go to Seletar Airport, you can file a flight plan to fly your plane from Seletar to Kuala Lumpur, and you'll get flight approval in 15 minutes. You get a drone and fly to the Civil Aviation Authority to take a drone shot of this building, it takes 10 days. That's how immature this business is. And it's a reality. So we partnered with a few people. I don't know whether you guys know a guy called John McDonald. He's a tanker guy. I'm not a tanker guy, I'm an offshore guy. So we referenced marine, we formed a company called Remora, and I'll talk about Remora later on. Performance Rotors is a Singapore-based company that do a lot of civil work for the Housing Development Board, Jurong Town Council. They do a lot of civil work. But these guys are experts in the field. So we partnered with them because we're experts in the marine field. And ROV Inspections are partnered in Indonesia. And then when we formed this company last August, so in a year we've been going, that's where we've been working, right throughout Asia, Australasia, Europe, Middle East, and in the Americas. The beauty of the technology and the kit is it's very versatile. I flew a guy from California last week to Singapore to do some R&D work for me. He brought all his stuff in a bag. And you'll see the extent of what he brought in the bag later on. All of these shots you see is work that we've done in the past year. So we do a lot of sort of loadouts and that sort of thing. What we aim to do is go sky high, deep down, and narrow spaces. So when you say how do you go deep down with the drone? Well, we've got ROVs. Now, these are drone ROVs. They're not the ROVs that you guys are used to in the offshore business. These are about the size of this projector, literally. And we can do in-water survey, we can do tank surveys. So imagine, going into a tank to do an inspection. In the old days, you'd have to empty the tank or send in a diver. In Singapore, to send a diver in a tank, it's a 5-man experience. And it costs a lot of money. To use one of these things, just go in. So what have we been doing for the past year? So we do a lot of aerial videography. I would like to do more surveying, but we tend to do more marketing. So people want shots of your new boat, or I'm going to buy a boat, or I want to prove to my client in Nigeria that the boat exists, or a magazine wants to take some photo shoots to show the extent of the layup fleet in Batam. So we do a lot of that sort of work. Ship launching, that type of thing. We like to do a lot more survey. The survey market in Asia is very immature. In fact, there are no survey companies, to my knowledge, that have got the class notation yet for doing drone surveys. We're working with Meade and ABS to get our certification. There are a couple in Holland who've done it already. DNV are taking a different track. DNV are wanting to certify their own surveyors to do the work. I think my personal view is DNV are going down the wrong track, but they'll work that out themselves eventually. Gene will give you a copy of this video, or unless it's on the presentation, or unless it's on the slide. Each one of these videos, there's a little YouTube link, and you just click on it, and it'll show you what we do. So working for ProSafe, just to do an inspection of that accommodation rig, doing a loadout for Technique in Batam, and in China for the launching of the world's first subsea mining vessel. So that's what you can expect. So it's quite a complex arena. This particular ship, we've been commissioned by the owner to make a cradle to grave video of the ship. So we've been there from the keel laying all the way through to launching and obviously through to delivery, if ever delivers. What we like to offer is always being contactable, high levels of reliability. We like to give live inspection from site. Actually, this presentation I hadn't seen until I came here today. There's been some new addition to it. I actually was looking at it on my phone. That's the type of thing that we offer. So we're using tools like Ignite. I don't know if you guys work with Ignite. So it's cloud-based. So all our videos, all the stuff that you pay for is all coming up in the cloud. And our surveyors are all qualified and experienced and licensed. I can't overestimate the licensing. I've got many captain friends and surveyor friends who've got drones. But the moment you start to commercialize, you've got to get yourself licensed. Don't underestimate that. And it's not just Singapore. The Indonesian structure is different, the Malaysian structure is different, as is the Australian structure. There's no one single drone pilot license. We're obviously working in the offshore oil and gas space with stringent operational guidelines. We're committed to quality. And the mantra is about cost saving, efficiency, and saving time and safety. So that's what we've got in our little fleet. So I'm sure, I don't know, has anybody got a drone? Any of you guys drone pilots? Yeah. So, you know, fans of DJI series. Helios is quite innovative. That's a tank tolerant drone. So you can drop it in the tank and it can do the survey. It's got a cage around it. It's also got heat sensing rods on it. It's got a high definition camera. You'll see it in action in a minute. The bottom right ROV is a proprietary ROV you can buy in the market. The yellow one and the white one, we were involved with crowdfunding. The white one is in California and the blue one was in China. These things are fantastic. I mean, you know, as I say, they're as big as this. They're very versatile. They go down to 200 or 300 meters, and they don't cost much money. You know, the little white one's about $2.5 grand. We're working with Intel. They say, Intel, isn't it the chip on my computer? Intel look at the drone business as being a very fundamental part of their future. And they acquired this company in Germany called Aztec. And Aztec build the Falcon 8, which is now going to become the Falcon 8 Plus, which is the workhorse of the commercial the drone fleet. That's about a $30,000 drone. It's got triple redundancy, it's got high resolution camos, it can do thermal imaging, and it's accepted in your patch. So we're working with Intel at the moment to do proof of concept on doing rig inspections in Southeast Asia. In the short time we've been going, which is less than a year, that's sort of the clients that we've been working for around and about the place. A little bit of feedback from the client. I want to talk about permitting. So I'm closely involved with this ship, but so we had an open day for the client, which is Fugro. And Fugro said, we need a video of the open day, including some drone shots. So we said, okay, when's the day? We need to know the day, we need to know the time. Oh, we'll tell you a day or so before. Can't do it. It takes 10 days to get a permit, believe me, 10 days to get a permit. I mean, you're probably familiar, that's Keppel Island. To get this permit, we put the ship here. So then we had to go to Civil Aviation Authority and tell them what we were going to do. There were a couple of things going on that day. There was some flying going on throughout the anchorage. There's the ferries obviously going in and out. We all remember the Annie Wayne-Tuck disaster with the cable car. And you can't fly over people. As I said, go next door and buy a drone in the supermarket, you can fly over people. Once you're commercial, you can't go anywhere near people. So you've got to put a flight plan together with a risk assessment plan, file it to the Civil Aviation Authority, and in 10 days, once they've asked you 1,000 questions, you'll get your permit. And up to an hour before you fly, you have to phone them back. There you go. So that's what we did. So that's a typical flight plan for a drone shot in Keppel Island. Again, a bit of marketing. And actually, Chad, I won't be able to stay for your talk this afternoon, but Chad and I are on a committee with IMCA talking about reactivation of BP vessels. And Chad's also heavily involved with MTS. These particular ships were built in Batam by a company called Brito. Some of you may know. They're brand new, they're state of the art. They were laid up for 3 years. To reactivate those ships, and my company was involved with it, took about 2.5 months per ship and about $1.5 million. And these were warm laid. These were brand new ships. The purpose of that video was to do, as I mentioned earlier, was to show clients in Nigeria that the ships existed and actually had been tried. Working with BV, excuse me, we made our application to BV to become approved surveyors for drone use, and they've got guidance and they've got rules, but the surveyors aren't qualified. So we actually took the surveyors with us to show them what we're doing so they can then certify. So to do that, we needed the help of some people. I'd like to thank Kim Hain, PSA Marine and Pax Ocean for allowing us with BV to go and do certain things. I won't run through them all because it takes too long, but we did an annual survey of a barge. BV were doing an annual barge survey, internal and external. It wasn't right up to the water survey. So we used our ROV, we used our tank column drone, and we did a tank and we did some underwater work. So you can see that's Helios going into the tank. The beauty of Helios is you just have to vent the tank. It's a non-hydrocarbon tank. You don't have to have a PA set on the outside. You're not putting a man in. Just open the lid and it goes. So on that particular annual inspection, we did a part of the scale, and we also did one ballast tank. So you can see some of the images there. It's the images from the Helios. We haven't got time at the moment. Each one of these YouTube links, if you press it, you'll see it in action. So for the Kim Hain barge 2378, we reckon in half a day we can do all 24 ballast tanks. So in a day we can do a deck cargo barge in the water and save a lot of money and reduce a lot of risk, make it more efficient. We then went to PSA Marine. PSA Marine have about, I'm trying to remember the number, it's about 80 pieces of marine equipment down at the West Coast, which include pilot boats, include tugboats, include buoy maintenance repair boats. All of these ships have ropes that get tangled in them, they need constant inspection. They were doing their work with I can only describe it as an aluminium bar with a camera on it, and they were dangling over every night to see propellers were fouled or whether they not. So we took our little ROVs along, we worked with them to show them what we can do. And we're working with them at the moment to train up their people. They're acquiring ROVs, they're not renting our service, they're acquiring the equipment. I mentioned about the size of the crew and what it takes to do this work. If you wanted an ROV and a drone crew to come along and do some work for you, that's what turns up. Pilot, an engineer, a gopher, a drone, and an ROV. That's it. That's how they turn up for work. So with PSA Marine, we did some propeller work, we did some hull work on both tugboats, pilot boats, and launches. So it was about 1 to 2 hours to fully inspect the underwater length of the tug, to do either inspection for in-water inspection or to check if the propellers were fouled. As I said, to put a diver in, it's 5 men. So to drop the ROV in, it's 5 minutes. And so about 30 minutes to do a pilot boat. So in a day, you can do about 4 to 8 tugs, and in a day, you can do about 16 pilot boats. So that convinced these guys that this was the way to go. So now they bought the ROVs to do the work. We then went over to Batam with BV because these rigs, which they're laid up in Batam, and the American owners they want to make sure that those rigs are safe. So they send crews over regularly, about 6 months, just to do a visual inspection, which involves guys with rope access, opening tanks, gas freeing, all that sort of carry on. So we said, well, with drones and with the ROVs, we reckon we can do this inspection for you. So we took BV with us and we did aerial, we did underdeck, which is quite unique. I believe that only a drone can do the underdeck. Trying to do the underdeck survey of jacket without jacking down and putting the surveyor in the boat is very difficult. We did underwater, you'll see in a minute. We did the preload tanks, and we just did some general condition survey. You can actually see here 2 of the drones at work doing the survey. We went into the tank with the surveyor so we could see how Helios worked. You don't have to go into the tank with Helios, but we went in. He wanted to see, because he wanted to go to particular points within the tank to see what we were doing. So he was directing us, just to prove I do lots of work sometimes. But you can see the versatility of Helios. It's tucked right up in amongst the pipes in the corner of the tank where the surveyor wants to be. And that's working with the ROV to do the rig inspection. So you can see here, you can see the drone inspecting the derrick tower. Also did some leg work. This is what we call drone on drone. So we have a drone up taking pictures of the drone. We move on to the next one. I think it just does it itself, I believe. So we move on to the next one, which is the Helios drone in the tank. And you'll see where the surveyor says, I want to see that bracket up at the top of the tank. So you go up to the top of the tank, get to the bracket he wants to see. It looks a bit bumpy when you get there. And when you get to the top of the tank, you can then zoom in to see whatever you want. And then this is the ROV doing the jack-up rig leg underwater inspection. That's the ROV that's like this objective.
Can you do measurements? Like if we want to measure a crack on a propeller or damage surveys?
Okay, you're asking the wrong guy. I'm sure you can, but we've not done it. So I'm sure you can. But I'm sure it's just a case of referencing, right?
That's what divers do, is that to do an actual.
Yeah, it's a valid question, and I really don't know the answer.
Also, I wanted to ask with regards to referencing. When you underwater or inside the tank, of course not with a propeller, you go under the hull of a ship, how do you know where you are? Like, for example, you find a dent inside the hull. How can you reference it such? So
with the underwater, we have a referencing system that we can deploy, so you can see where the ROV is relative. We can see where the ROV is relative to the ship. But the tank, we've not done that yet. There is a way with lasers, we're developing it. So with a tank, you really have to have a pilot that knows his way around the drawing. But that's coming. I mean, the other thing about this business is it changes every day. I mean, there's not a day I wake up and talk to these guys that they're not teaching them something new, what they can do. But I just want to stress that everything they do is cost effective. You don't really have to put a lot of money into this thing. Put a lot of time, put a lot of effort, a lot of qualifications involved. Develops every day. So just looking at that jack-up rig, 3 to 4 hours to do the legs, an hour and a half to do the underwater legs, the aerial legs, the drilling derrick, and external areas, and then 2 to 3 hours to do the ballast, the preload ballast tanks. So that was about 1.5 days to do a rig. Patch Ocean were telling me that it takes about 5 days for these inspectors to do it with their rope access and all that sort of stuff. And there's just some numbers for costs of staging and stuff. We save a lot of money on staging. That's one of the things that utilizing drones does. So what's next for us? It's not just about taking sexy pictures for marketing. We want to do something that's effective. So we're working at the moment, ultrasonic thickness measurement. It's a big cost issue with surveying. Not so much in the offshore, but certainly in bulker space and the VLCC space. And it's the longitudinal girders in the underdeck that's the main cost measurement. Because to do those longitudinal girders, ultrasound readings, you either have to stage up and dry dock, which means you have to gas feed the tank, or you put a surveyor in a boat and you fill the tank up and then he does the reading. So we try doing it with drones. Drones don't have the endurance to do it. Drones don't have the stability to do it. So we're working closely at the moment utilizing blimp technology. So helium-filled blimps to see if we can do it. And that you'll see in a minute what we're doing this and that's Remora. We're working with Intel to do proof of concept to take that rig inspection methodology and turn it into a certified job that we can do with BV. And we're looking at some form of hopefully whether it be with crawlers or when you can actually cement the robot to the ship and then it will clean the hull. We've seen it's a lot of it is done commercially, but not in the smaller stuff. It's done in the anchorage for big VLCCs and ship. This literally was what we did at the weekend. So what I'm talking about here is this is not a VLCC, it's actually a cable ship. But we wanted to get the measurements of the longitudinal girder. So we tried with drones, and then we went to blimps. And actually, we had a bit of a genesis moment, that's what I would say, on Friday. We've been flying the blimp horizontally, and we couldn't get what we needed to do. We tried for weeks and months. And then we flew this guy in from California. This is Larry the blimp. And Larry said, why don't we turn it 90 degrees? We turned it 90 degrees. We built a drone, which you can see here, on top of the blimp. And we put the probe on top, and Eureka. It was stable, flew around, we did the CP readings, we brought DNV in, and everybody was happy. So that's proof of concept that only happened last week. And that's how quick that this stuff moves on. And that's the blimp in action, doing CP readings on longitudinal girders. That's the ultrasound, whatever you call it. So that's about it. That's what we do. That's who we are. So, any questions?